I do about 3 or 4 international trips every single year, which means I am personally out of the country about 80 days a year, which is crazy to think about. And with that, I want to make sure that I have a fantastic cell phone provider with awesome international coverage, and I have gone with Google Fi. Hey everybody, it's Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, where I go on a weekend cruise just about every weekend. I was with T-Mobile before, and I kept getting these astronomical bills that I was being charged because I wasn't, playing the international game well. With Google Fi, there's nothing that you have to play. There is no game. You just have the service and you're able to travel internationally, and it just works. It is fantastic. Now, this video is not sponsored by any stretch of the imagination. I just personally really like Google Fi. And so if you want to save $20 on your next bill and you want to also give me $20 off my next bill, make sure you're using that referral link down below to sign up, or at least check it out. There is a free 7-day period that you can check out Google Fi if you want to. I highly encourage you to do that because that's a good way to see if it's going to give you good reception where you're at. Now, Google Fi is going to come with 3 different plans. You're going to have your flexible, your simply unlimited, and then you're going to have your unlimited plan. Now, I'm going to focus on the unlimited plan. That is the most popular one that they have. It's also their most robust and best international plan. It is the one that I've been on for 2 years, and I'm a huge fan. It is $65 for one user. That's it. If I had more users, but I'm a household of one, it would get cheaper per user for each person that I would have. Now let's talk about the international coverage, because I've hyped it up a lot. Now the first thing I want to say is this good in 200 different countries. You can use Google Fi, and literally, I'm on the plane, we land, I turn on my phone or come out of airplane mode if I went into it, and I connect within like 2 to 3 minutes. I'm connected to the new network of where I'm at in whatever country it may be. And I have been at this point, I just counted it, I've been to 64 different countries, and my Google Fi has worked in every single one of them without a hitch. It has worked perfectly. When I first switched over, the Bahamas was hit or miss about 2 years ago, but they have sorted that out. I've been here a lot more, and it is fine at this point. So the only place it has not worked is Cuba. And so most of you know that us Americans, we have certain restrictions against going to Cuba and using credit cards or cell phones there. That is the only place out of the 64 countries I've been that it did not work. Now, the one key thing that I'll say here, I get this question a lot, especially from my cruise ship followers. I know a lot of people, maybe land-based travelers, looking at Google Fi. If you are on a cruise ship, you still must be near a cell phone tower in order to have your cell phone work. See how that makes sense? The ship Wi-Fi does not count as a cell tower, especially if you've not paid for it. It's not going to work. So make sure that you're within distance of a cell phone tower. So once you get into port, you'll be able to use it wherever you are going. You can also use it pretty far out. So I know on weekend cruises, and I've made videos about don't buy the Wi-Fi package because you're always close to a cell phone tower. Even going from Miami, Fort Lauderdale over to the Bahamas, you're never that terribly far away. And so you keep signal a good portion of the day. And I know even after we leave Miami, I keep reception for probably 2 to 3 hours after we leave port. And the good thing, it's going to work in the private islands as well. Now I say that I've been to Ocean Key, and I've been to Coco Cay and Labadee. It has worked there because they have Bahamas cell phone towers there. So if you're looking at going to a private island, your Google Fi is also going to work automatically as soon as you show up. Now, the way that they do their data, and this is something that I really appreciate about Google Fi, is they give me 50 gigabytes of data. As you all know, I'm a content creator. I'm making a lot of content. I'm downloading footage, moving footage, and I've never gone over 50 gigabytes or even come close to it. I don't think I've even gotten within the 10 range because I've got like a warning. I think I've always been under 40, but you've got 50 gigabytes to use however you want to, which is fantastic. The speeds of that data that you're going to have in international locations is going to depend on the international location and the agreements that Google Fi has with the local carriers. Most of the time, I've always been 3G and higher. There's several ports that I actually get really good 5G speeds. And I think there was one, I don't remember where I was, that I got the H+, which is kind of like the equivalent of like a 2G, I guess, or just a regular G. Anyway, I still had data. It was just a little bit slower, but that was 1 out of 64 countries so far. And the great thing with that 50 gigabytes of data is I can use it on apps like WhatsApp, FaceTime, Facebook Messenger, where I'm able to call people or even video chat in foreign countries, and I'm not using the phone service to make those calls, which does come with a nominal charge with Google Fi. So let's talk about that a little bit. So if you're looking at traveling internationally and you want to make phone calls from your phone, I don't necessarily recommend doing this on any plan that you have because there's just not a need to. You can use your data and use FaceTime. You can use Instagram. You can use Messenger. Whatever it is, there's other options that are out there. But they're going to support 50 different countries that you're going to be able to call from. Of those countries, the most expensive one that you can call is Antarctica, and it's going to come in at only $2 per minute. So if you want to call Antarctica and talk for 10 minutes, it's 20 bucks. But most of the phone calls that you're going to make, if you do make any phone calls on a normal cell reception, you're going to be charged somewhere between 5 cents and 25 cents. So at the high end of that, if you talk for 10 minutes, it's $2.50. Like, it's no big deal. If you accidentally make a phone call or you need to call somewhere to make a call, it's absolutely fine. It's literally going to be like dollars for an extensive conversation. So well worth the money. The other good thing here is they don't have an agreement with Cellular at Sea. So as you see, I'm sitting on a cruise ship right now, and I like the fact that they don't have an agreement with Cellular at Sea. That is the cell reception that you can get in the middle of the ocean on the cruise ship, but they charge you an arm and a leg. So if you accidentally use data, you accidentally make a phone call, it's going to charge your phone a ton of money. And so you had to be really careful on other providers that you go into airplane mode because you don't want to automatically connect to the Cellular at Sea cell phone towers. Google Fi doesn't have a relationship with Cellular at Sea, so I cannot connect to it even if I wanted to, and I like that. The other great thing about Google Fi is, like I mentioned earlier, they're going to give you 50 gigabytes of data to use however you want to. So one of the things that they do, and you don't pay extra for this, is you can hotspot from your phone. So I can take this device and say, hey, the other 3 devices that are here in my room, I want them to also have Wi-Fi so I can hotspot my cellular reception from this phone to the other devices that are in the room, like my laptop that you all can't see. And so that is a huge cost savings that, you know, when I travel internationally with a friend of mine that doesn't have a good international plan, I just turn my hotspot on, walk around, and he's got Wi-Fi while we walk around the city, which is actually really, really cool. And the next best thing that I like about Google Fi, again, sticking to, you've got 50 gigabytes of data, use it however you want to. They allow you to have multiple data SIM cards. And so this is something that I was paying extra for. I think it was an extra $50 with T-Mobile because I had one of their Insignia hotspots. But with Google Fi, I just pop in one of their data-only SIM cards and I'm able to get to my data. That 50 gigabytes is included in this. So however I'm using it, I can use it on here, I can use it on my phone, I can use it however. It's up to me to determine how that's working. I also have another data SIM in my iPad. So if I'm traveling and flying and watching movies, I can download Netflix from the local country that I'm in because I've got a Google Fi data SIM card in there, and there's no additional charge for the data SIM or for the data that you're using as long as you don't go over 50 gigabytes. Now look, there's actually some extras on here that I don't know that they're going to cause you to get this plan. I wouldn't get them for these, but I'm going to mention it. You get 1 year of free YouTube Premium, which I'm a huge YouTuber, as you can tell. I recommend that. You're also going to get 100 gigabytes of storage with Google One, which I think is actually pretty neat. I definitely use that feature, and there's a free 7-day trial. I do recommend at least the 7-day trial in 1 month. There's no contracts here, so if you need to cancel, you can do that. What I did before switching over to Google Fi is I ran 2 different phones kind of side by side. Or I shouldn't say phones, I guess it was 2 different SIM cards. I used my Google Fi and my T-Mobile one and wanted to see how the reception differed. So interestingly enough, Google Fi is running T-Mobile. So it is a reseller of T-Mobile. It used to be T-Mobile and US Cellular, but these days it's only just T-Mobile. And so I wanted to still see kind of how it was because when I went with them, they had T-Mobile and US Cellular, so I just wanted to check it out. I ran 2 SIM cards, or T-Mobile and Google Fi, for 30 days, and then it was like, yeah, I can't tell a difference. It's actually probably better service, and the international travel ability with Google Fi is so much better than T-Mobile. I finally took the plunge and just switched completely over 2 years ago, and have never looked back. Now the things you must, now hear me out on this, you must know these things if you're looking at going with Google Fi because it might not be a good fit for you and your situation. You've got to make sure that you fit the criteria for Google Fi. So as much as they have a tremendous international plan, it is not for international living. Hear me on that. If it is not for international living, the way Google Fi determines this is number 1, you got to activate this on a US network. You cannot be overseas and activate your Google Fi. It's not going to work. I think there may be some exceptions for military, if you're on a military base, something like that. But go on the website, check out the military section. I don't know enough about that to talk about it. The other thing you're going to need to know is, like me, I'm out of the country a lot. However, I'm out of the country for short blocks of time, like a weekend, let's say. But what you need to know for Google Fi is you must come back to the US at least once every 90 days and reconnect to a US cellular tower. Failure to do this, they will cut your service in a heartbeat. You'll get a nice little email saying, hey, we recognize that you're out of the country. We're going to turn off and deactivate your cell phone plan. And there is nothing you can do about that. Once you get that email, you're done. I've seen it happen to multiple people. Some crew members that, they start with a US-based ship, and now their ship's out of Europe sailing the Mediterranean, let's say. They get that notice very, very quickly that you've been out of the country too long, you've not been back to the US, they're cutting you off. And the third thing that you really need to know here is Google Fi's customer service is atrocious. So don't come to Google Fi expecting amazing customer service. They are known for horrific customer service. So if you get the email saying your service can be terminated, there's nothing anybody can do about it. You can reach people, their customer service. I've called them a few times. They're useless. Luckily, I haven't really needed them. Now that the Bahamas figured out their cell phone coverage somehow, I've not needed to call them. And there's also not a storefront. So you can't walk into a store, to a Google Fi store, and say, hey, I'm having issues with my phone, or I'm curious about a plan. Can you help me out? It doesn't work like that. It is all online. There's chat functions, and you can call into probably like an Eastern European customer service center, but they're not well trained or not well equipped to be able to help you out. With all that being said, I'm a huge fan of Google Fi. They do have some shortcomings when it comes to needing to be in the US and their customer service, but I can abide by those, and I don't really need customer service that much. I love that I can show up in any country that I've been to so far, 64 of them at least, and I've had reception within 2 minutes of landing. It is fantastic. There's no additional charge, and I'm getting 3G and 5G speeds with the ability to use my 50 gigabytes of data however I want to. So it is super, super cool, and it is an awesome experience. Again, if this is something you're interested in, make sure you're using the referral link down below. You'll get $20 off your next bill, and so will I. So, all right, everybody, this is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, hoping you have amazing international travels and you never get one of those $500 bills from another cell phone provider because you were smart and switched over to Google Fi.